Hi, I'm Alexis Land, this is Kim Bruce, and this is Greg Salvo, and we're presenting on Saigon Sisters, a Vietnamese restaurant in the Chicago area. So the company was started in 2009 by Mary Aragoni. Mary had worked for 20 years at Procter & Gamble and was asked to relocate to the Cincinnati area. She did not want to leave Chicago yet, so she decided to pursue another opportunity that she's had as a lifelong goal, and that is opening a business that replicates her family's first business in Vietnam. So she found an opportunity in Chicago's French Market area, and she's created a restaurant that focuses on fresh, delicious, and locally sourced food, and she's expanded since then.
So their main location and their second location that they opened is their restaurant. It's located in the West Loop area of Chicago, among other notable restaurants. It offers various plates with fresh ingredients and a lunch and dinner service.
The French Market, it's one of their lunch location, and it's like a fast location, so the customers just grab and go, and it's kind of like smaller menu portion size.
So the goals of the restaurant and Mary's goals are one and the same. She wants to create a successful business that allows all of her family members to work and have a sustainable career at the business. She also wants to become more knowledgeable about how to own a small business and how to run an entrepreneurial venture. Her entire background has been in marketing and IT, so there's a lot of reasons in entrepreneurship, such as the financial accounting and some of the management and human resources pieces that she needs to work on. Finally, she wants to create a business that is capable of sustaining itself without her. Her long-term goal is to license her idea to a restaurant management group such as Let Us Entertain You and franchise the concept so it turns into something like a Chipotle.
So the main opportunity we found for Saigon Sisters is its opening of a third location at the Northwestern Memorial Hospital. It would service patients, their families, the doctors, physicians, and everybody who works at the hospital. It'd be similar to the Lake Street restaurant in the look and feel of the place, as well as offering the French Market offerings, mostly to-go options. Also, another opportunity for this location is implementing a breakfast as well. And Saigon Sisters is new to breakfast, and they plan to feature pastries, coffee, drinks, crepes.
So the day-to-day operations are mostly managed by her family. Her husband, Dan, manages the nighttime dinner service at the restaurant, while her sister, Teresa, and her mother manages the lunch service at both locations. They also have a very strong team of a sous chef and a chef. The preparation for the restaurant is a little bit different compared to most restaurants. The executive chef and his sous chef go shopping for ingredients every morning, so they don't use large suppliers such as Cisco to bring in their ingredients. The restaurant also houses their largest kitchen, so they do the majority of their food prep there. So every morning the ingredients are delivered out to the French Market location and eventually the hospital location to assemble the food before the final delivery to the customer. And of course, the customer is central to the business's success. So each employee at any level is allowed to do whatever they can do to make sure that the customer has the best possible experience with the restaurant and walks away happy. So, and one morning, Teresa had a customer come in and buy a sandwich for lunch. They forgot to eat it because they were so busy, and when they were grabbing the train to go home, they realized that their sandwich wasn't as high quality as it would have been if they ate it earlier in the day because the vegetables start to get a little soggy. So instead of charging them for a new sandwich, she offered to give them a new one so that they could get positive word of mouth and continue the business marketing.
Yeah, Asian food is growing rapidly in America, so that's a benefit for Saigon Sisters. The market segments, they target the young urbans, the Asian foodies, and the traditional family.
Okay, for the competitive analysis, there's 82 Vietnamese restaurants in Chicago and over 500 Asian restaurants. So they have a lot of competitors, such as Wow Bao and other Argyle Street locations. But we feel Mary has a competitive advantage because of her seasonal, fresh ingredients and ties with local farms. She also has a extreme emphasis on her customer service and superior staff, which helps. However, she's not as knowledgeable in the restaurant industry, so that could be knowing more about the restaurant industry to help the growth of Saigon Sisters.
Yeah, the strength will be their new location. That's going to bring a lot of word of mouth advertising to them. One of their weaknesses is probably the lack of breakfast menu. They're new to the breakfast world. Opportunities. Once she gets her third location operating, she'll be able to focus more on kind of the longer term vision. The threat is probably the breakfast competition, since they're new to breakfast.
So when looking at Mary's financials, they were actually fairly healthy. Her current ratio of 4 is much higher than the industry standard at 1. Her return on sales is 15% compared to the industry at 2%, and her return on assets is 25% compared to the industry of 5%. However, she does have some weakness in collecting her accounts receivable and turning over her inventory. When we talked with her about this, we mostly think that this is because she currently does not require her catering customers to pay for their orders upon receiving them. She gives them a larger window to pay. And also because of the fresh nature of her ingredients, she ends up wasting a lot by buying ingredients each day, so there's just not a lot of turnover.
So we see a few problems, and then we came up with some recommendations. One of the main things is that with opening the third location, she needs a lot more staff, and with their emphasis on customer service, she needs to hire and train new staff. So creating a employee development program would be beneficial to her. Also, there's rapid growth, and with the multiple locations, if we implement a loyalty program, the customers will keep returning, and the Saigon Sisters brand will be more notable. Also, Mary can't be at all 3 locations at once, so she does a lot, and she wants to focus more on the business, so kind of creating leaders within each location will help her.
So thank you guys. Were there any questions?
So it seems like locally grown and really fresh foods is really important to her. How does she see that as something that's sustainable if there is like a large growth for your franchising?
That is something that she's definitely concerned about. She's currently working with Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses Plan on kind of changing her idea from what it currently is to something much larger. What we're looking at for that right now, when I talked to her, was she'd have to go region by region. So within each region, she'd have to find like select farmers who would exclusively supply to her business so that they could keep the products going at that type of quality.
Which role does the internet play in marketing the restaurant?
She actually does very limited internet marketing. A lot of what she does is through food festivals and local word of mouth in the Chicago area. What she does do for her food marketing is obviously her Facebook page to keep in contact with her current customer base and to expand on that. And she also participates in deal sites such as Groupon, but in Chicago it's called Daily Candy. And in a more national level, she works with Guilt Group. And those are just Groupon sites that are a little catering to a higher priced audience, so that they're more familiar with the prices. So recently with Daily Candy, she did an offer where it was you could go to see the Genghis Khan exhibit at the Field Museum and then come to her restaurant to get a menu, and it would be a subsidized price. So that's how she kind of.
And then their website, their website's on Tumblr, which is really great too, and they like post things like where they've been or what they've helped out with in the community, so you can read about it too, which is cool.
It seems like what reviews and ratings people leave online on restaurants plays a big role in where people go. Is that correct? And is she managing that?
That is something that, like being a family member of hers, we always comment on it to her. A lot of the family members will like look on the website just because we all live so far away and we want to monitor the business and success. And we'll see negative reviews and we're wondering why she doesn't like post back saying, you know, if you come back to the restaurant, we'll do X, Y, and Z. And she actually feels that from talking with other business managers and restaurant owners, that this is not something that works well for them, mostly because she doesn't have a good handle on that aspect of social media. She's seen where restaurant owners have kind of gotten into back and forth with different customers.
Okay.
And that actually ends up being worse for your business than letting the negative reviews stand. She's also talked with business owners about deleting negative reviews so that your score looks more positive. And that's also come to show some backlash. So she usually just lets it mediate itself and leaves the reviews to stand
Other questions? How's the time, Megan?
3 minutes exactly.
All right, hand of applause.